Welcome back to another Gamersrdy coaching session with Retselum, my most underperforming series, but the series I take closest to heart, so you guys can go fuck yourselves. This time I have a new coach because I really like to see how other people's teaching methods are, and this time we got Hoodyhooo! Hoodyhooo is not only a coach over on Gamersrdy, he is also a up-and-coming YouTuber with awesome progression through the rank series and other videos, including some demo-centric ones, which as a demo connoisseur, I had respect and I look forward to further demolitions. So I'm gonna probably make this coaching session of his into a two-part video. One, because it's an hour-long coaching session / replay review, and also because I'm lazy and I want to have an easy video for once. So, yeah, easy videos. Two-parters. Easy.
So, without further ado, let's get into this review.
Hey, hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
You're good. We got a fellow demo fiend.
Yes.
That's so fun. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. It's just, man, it's just satisfying. It's just fun.
It's important annoyances, especially
Yeah.
when you play with someone like Woody, and it literally changes the meta where the people are playing so fine the first part of the game, but then the last half they give up everything and just to chase him down to try to demo him back. And
Dude,
you just
that's
get
so-
open nets.
Yeah, it's because which I don't go to that extreme, but demos, they affect the mentality of people.
Right.
So, anyways, huge fan of demos. All right, so the first thing I like to do when I get into these is to just mention these couple websites. You may be familiar with Ball Chasing and Calculated.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely make use of these. Do you use Calculated at all?
I haven't used Calculated. I've used Ball Chaser a few times to look at replays.
Yeah. Okay, so Calculated. So Ball Chasing is pretty sick. It's definitely more of like a macro level, like comparison thing. You can look at yourself compared to others.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're looking at this, my compared to Grand Champ, compared to Pro. See my demo stat, a little higher than average.
Then bros can't
I wonder
keep
what
up.
Woody's would be.
It'd probably be off the fucking chart.
Him or Tooth Bato or Tooth Buto.
His would just be straight to the right.
Yeah, like no shots, no assists, just straight demos.
Yeah.
So Calculate's a little more individual based. You can look at any of the different game modes, and these are just some web charts similar to Ball Chasing here. So the one that I like to point out is the tendencies here. And so this is time in front of the ball, attacking third, attacking half, defending third, and time behind the ball. And so I'm a solo queue player, and so you can see, I spend a lot of time in the defending side of things, playing cautious, playing behind the ball, that type of stuff. And then there's also a wins-losses comparison mode. So you can kind of look at, how things stack up. And so this right here pretty much validates my thought process. When I stay behind the ball more, I win more. When I'm in front of the ball more, I end up losing more. So that's not to say that never go in front of the ball, that type of stuff. But it just kind of lets you know that the way you approach the game is the correct way. And vice versa, you can do the opposite where like...
Look at how you're losing, like what you're doing during all your losing matches to try to fix
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so you can click on each game and it'll give you the normal game stats, but you can also click this little blue bar graph here. And this is where it really gets in depth. So again, this web chart is just to show all 6 players, but this is time high in air, low in air, on the ground, defending third, neutral third, attacking third, defending half, attacking half, near the wall and in the corner. And so like one thing that I'm very conscious of, I don't want to be in the corner unless I have to be, unless it's my turn. And so you can see my time in the corner is quite low compared to everyone else. A lot of the times players get sucked into the corner even when they have a teammate out there, which is just a horrible idea. And they've got stats about hitting the ball, the car's relationship to the ball, time closest, farthest, things like that. The boost tab is super helpful. So boost usage is probably going to be around the same for everybody. Wasted collection. Yeah, so how much you collect over that 100 amount. You're at 60 and you pick up a big can, that's a waste of 60. So this guy right here, he wasted 658 boost in a 5-minute span.
Now, how does that correlate to boost stealing?
So it's just it's hard to tell, right? This like, you're definitely right, this doesn't tell the whole picture. But if you consistently have a problem where, you know, you're picking up, if you look at all your games and you're always this guy,
to show you pretty much all the small details of the game, to see what it is you can hone in on.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So there's all kinds of stuff in here about possession, efficiency, team positioning, just tons of stuff. There's even a heat map.
That is a crazy amount of information.
Yeah. And so, like, for me, right, we can see almost all my time's actually spent on the defending half, and then it gets really hot right here, defending third in front of the net. Versus, you know, this guy who's relatively balanced. This guy's pretty balanced too. But I just take that approach, and you can even see where the ball's spent the majority of the time. You can also check different things like the boost amount. So where did you use your boost? Right, it shows you majority of our boost was used on defense, directly in front of the net. This is going to show you where you are at top speed, like boosting at the boost speed. And so typically this is like a rotation pattern. A lot of times it goes across the field like this. You can see, you know, towards pads or big cans. That's usually where it happens, or away from big cans. So that one's not too helpful. And then slow speed is almost always right in front of the net. That's just where everybody's still. But Calculated's super cool. It's a really great tool to just kind of better diagnose some of your issues, or just shed some light on some things that, you know, you may be doing really well. It's just a good tool to kind of check things out. I like Calculated.
All right.
They've actually
look at that one, because I didn't know about Calculated.
They've got they just released a feature here recently where like you get let's say you get an infield pass, something that you come across quite frequently. You can take the data from that replay and you can actually create a custom training with that shot.
Okay.
Which I think is just like,
that's kind of cool,
mind-boggling. All right, so my first question is, what would you say a win for a kickoff is? What would you classify a kickoff?
Because I play more ones than everything else, my win is for it to be going towards their side, towards a wall, so I can line it up for the shot, or going towards the corner where my teammate is. But that's usually when I'm with somebody and they're like, oh, I'm in this corner or that corner.
Yeah.
I don't normally solo queue twos, but I didn't have anyone to play twos with, and I knew I needed the replays, and this is my worst game mode, so I just knocked them out.
So I totally agree. When I and you're, you know, you pretty much nailed it. In ones, obviously you don't want to lose the kickoff towards your half of the field, but that's totally different. I would recommend something completely different for ones. But in team modes, I think you pretty much nailed it. If we can get our teammate possession, even if it's on our half of the field, that in my eyes is a win. I think about it in the same way that you see like a basketball tip-off. Right? They're not swatting it forward down the court. They're tapping it backwards to their teammate so he can, you know, get the play, get it set up, and ready to roll. So I'll just quickly, I know if you just have the normal button binding, then you won't be able to do this. But you can apply this in your, like you said, in the game mode where you're partied up. So I have my boost on RB, so that frees my thumb up. And so my kickoff is absolutely as basic as it gets. I literally drive in a straight line. And so I just flick my stick over here. I want to see where my teammates go. So I see one goes back right and one cheats up. And so I freeze it there for him. I actually let the opponent I let them kind of make the choice. And so you can see, I mean, like I'm just providing a barrier. It's either going to freeze with me and sit in the middle, or go back to my my teammate back right. And so, you know, it sounds like that's what you do for the team mode. If at all possible, that's what I would try to do, even with, like right here, you know he's going this direction. And so you can definitely, like, without even looking, you can definitely get this ball over to him. Let me see if I got one. Yeah, so here, this is essentially the same thing, right? I've got one guy cheating up, and then there's a guy opposite from me. And so I pull my nose to the left, form that wall, and then dodge to the right, and it goes over there to him. So that's something that you could do here, because you know he's over on that side. But no matter how you want to approach it, what I would say is we want to try to land a little bit sooner. I would say, like, if you can land right here outside the circle, because you want to give yourself time to jump and dodge into it. Right now, if we look where we make contact on the ball, we're making contact. It's not too bad, but it's not really in the middle third. It's more at the bottom third. And so when we make contact on the bottom of the ball, we're always going to have that upward momentum. And that is just a little more volatile than if you can trap it more on the ground.
And I have instant transition speed, so I do tap back and forth a lot. It just works in my brain. I was criticized for that last time from somebody else, but that's why you see it flicker back and forth. It doesn't look as wavy to me, like I can see what's going on.
Hey, the transition speed, I can see it. That's not instant.
No, on replays it doesn't show up as instant.
Oh.
So for me, it actually just clicks to the ball, then clicks. I'm like, click to see the ball, click see the fish, click see the ball, click see the fish.
Yeah. No, that's good. As long as that works for you, you know, I think that's the one thing that's like 100% just preference. I don't really think there's, you know, camera settings obviously are slightly preference, but you can also have camera settings that are just going to put you at a disadvantage.
As long as they're not Nero Patty's camera settings, it's all fine.
But the transition speed, I feel like, is totally just preference. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. But camera work is something that I talk about all the time, and so, you know, the fact that you said, like you said, you're comfortable switching frequently, I think is a good thing.
Awkward pathing.
No, that's, I mean,
I thought he was going for a
here.
ceiling shot, and he just stopped.
Right here, you know, you're not wasteful right here. You go up here and prepare, and then we only use 10, and we wave dash down. I think that's totally fine. I know some people may not like that, but I mean, there's pretty much there's no difference in you staying on the ground, in my opinion. There's no risk. It's not like you jumped off and did a bunch of crazy stuff in the air.
All right.
What, so are you, I know it says in champ, but it doesn't really tell me what. Is it champ 2, 3?
Champ 1. Right now I'm champ 1.
Okay.
Highest I've been is champ 2 and 2s, and that was a couple seasons ago.
So one thing that you can start to do, that's okay. I mean, off target here is okay because right now he's goal side. He's between the ball. When the ball comes to you, he's between the ball and the goal. So I'm okay with this not being on target. But what I would say is you can do a few more things that are dangerous. You've got a few options here. Right now, he's coming towards the ball, but as we get closer, we can see he's not challenging. And we're not, even if you're not looking directly at like his car language, you can see because his name tag is not getting any closer, he's not going to challenge. And so what I would say is let's either A, slow it down and try to pick it up, or B, make this touch without jumping. Just drive into it and pop it this way and then try to follow it up.
Okay.
Or you could even, slow down a bit and try to, ground to air dribble, that type of thing. All right, so right here, great pass. Unfortunate that the guy misses. The bump's good. So right here, I know that we want to get this boost, and that's very important. But before we prioritize that boost, we need to make a touch on this ball.
Yeah.
Because if you don't touch it, he's got a freebie. If you do touch it, it's totally going to throw him off. If you can just lay it down right here, he's going to have to turn and go back this direction. So that touch is way more important than the boost. So I don't know about you, but I feel okay now. I've gotten pretty comfortable with the car, but I did not feel as comfortable on this right side as I did on the left side with this
My issues I'm trying to do a speed flip with. I'm trying to get better at speed flipping all those diagonals, and I'm getting off my angle.
Yeah. So I'm not going to tell you don't speed flip, but I will tell you that you don't need it. If you watch LabiryntheS, he does the plain old straight end over end forward dodge kickoff. You've seen my kickoff. It's literally driving a straight line.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You really don't. I know that there's a lot of hype around advanced mechanics, and a lot of the like Musty on YouTube likes to teach it, but you just don't need those things. Sick.
I forgot that's how I saved the replay right before that too.
That's how they lost.
Cause I was like, oh, it's 1-1. This is going pretty close.
Okay, so especially in twos, the first thing we want to think about right now, we're up a goal, so not all that important that we score. We would like to score if we can get an open net, that's great. But the main thing is we want to run the clock down. So that's the big advantage that we have over these guys right now. They have to get it into this goal. We can hit it this way, this way, this way, this way, wherever on the field. We can even bring it back to our side. We can hit it anywhere, and as long as this clock's ticking, we're winning. So right here, we've got plenty of time. So let's use that clock to our advantage. Slow down, hit the brake, bring somebody to you, bring a challenge. Especially as you continue to climb, we're probably not going to make this shot very often. I think the only place that you could put this without a doubt and score is going to be top shelf right here. And so let's just slow it down. You can bring it, put it on your hood and try to flick. You can pop it up here. What I like, and you can take this strategy to ones too, ones as well. If you do watch Musty, when he plays ones, he does this a whole lot. He just drives up to the ball, stays grounded, saves the 84 boost, and just pops it up high. It's going to require boost from these guys. And one guy's going to have to aerial.
And if it's slow, then it's hard for them to get power on it.
That's also true. That's a very good point. And so it's kind of like whittling them down, right? You're going to require them to use a little bit of boost, and you're going to maintain possession. Hopefully be able to continue to boost starve them.
Nope. That was fun.
Nice. We'll just boost starve. Very good.
Pretty much, I was doing to them at that point what I do in a ones game, the going back and forth from each corner. And Vish the Fish was the staying back, which was kind of what I was hoping he'd do.
Very nice. We don't need to be aggressive. Very nice. So I would definitely say try to work on making touches without jumping. If you can keep grounded, keep those wheels on the ground, it gives you no recovery time. It's 0 seconds. You're immediately ready. Even though we do a light jump here, there's still a recovery time. So what I would say is you can just get around this like you do and then just cut inward. It's just going to pop it. And so even though it's a light jump, small recovery time, it is a recovery time. If you stayed on the ground, you'd be able to immediately challenge again.
All right. You could see what I wanted.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Just be careful. Make sure we don't pull ourselves out of position.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Very good. So we get to lead. The strategy, the approach to the game completely shifted, which is exactly what you want. So very well done there.